Hello, welcome viewers to Pasito Radio, and it's a pleasure to meet you all tonight. I know it's been a while, but I hope everybody's okay. As dear for your science share and the BMO, Nana dear, ye did you medica see and ye did ba. If Sassy a tea or big mansion near my baby and SC, until na ye war ye near ba, and what has say or no abatre near what year. Today we have our sister here. She'll tell us who she is and what job she does. Welcome, Emmy.
Thank you so much, Agnes. Thank you for having me. All
Okay.
right.
We want to know who you are and what you do.
Okay. Thank you so much, Agnes. So my name is Amy Dente. I've also been known as Amy Nelson. However, my profession is I'm a solicitor. I own my own practice. It's known as Abinelle Solicitors. We've been established since 2019, and we specialize in immigration and family law as well. So we deal with all matters ranging within these areas, and yes, we're definitely here to help, especially in the time when things are, changing, evolving. You have different areas of immigration that is sort of evolving as well. We are there at your beck and call to help you with all your needs, whatever it may be.
Okay. Well, thank you and welcome once again.
Thank you.
We are especially with that we live in UK, so we know there's a lot of changes since United Kingdom is out from the European Union. So, what are the changes in immigration status, or what are things that is in line with immigration?
Okay, yes, that's a very good question. As you know, we've heard a lot about Brexit because we are no longer part of the EU anymore. Um, After we Brexited, they created the EU settlement scheme, which really is an umbrella that brings um, European nationals and their family members alike under one umbrella, giving them either settled status, which is indefinite leave to remain, or pre-settled status. So the scheme has been open since 2019. However, as we know it, on the 30th of June 2021, that scheme will be closing, and you would no longer be able to regularize your stay using that route, which is the EU settlement scheme or anything in respect to the EU itself would come to an end at that point. Yes.
I think you said something about the 2020. Can we go back there and what happened on that day? You said it was 2020, but can you really elaborate a little bit more on what happened on the end of December last year?
Okay, so first of all, the EU settlement scheme opened officially to family members of EU nationals and EU nationals in 2019. There were some specific deadlines that were set. The first deadline being the 31st of December 2020. As at that deadline, a lot changed. First of all, in respect to extended family members, which of course may not be your immediate family, but would be your brother, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle. These relatives would the free movement of such relatives came to sort of a halt on the 31st of December 2020, which meant that you can't apply for entry clearance for extended family members after that date at 11 p.m. And you also cannot regularize your stay if you are in the UK, if you hadn't put in an application before 31st of December 2020 at 11 p.m. So that was a major change. As you know it, the EU has helped many Ghanaians, I would say, a lot of Ghanaians to bring not only their family members, but extended family members. So that change has had, of course, a detrimental impact on immigration itself, because, you would no longer be able to bring in other members of your family that are not your actual family members, but are extended family members. Also, on the 31st of December 2020, what happened is they set something in stone. They said, if you want to make an application for example, for your spouse, for your partner to join you, the relationship ought to have started before the 31st of December 2020. So, for example, you're going to bring your spouse from Ghana, you're an EU national exercising treaty rights in the UK. You ought to have been in a relationship before the 31st of December 2020. So let's say your marriage certificate is dated 1st September 2020. That makes your spouse eligible to apply for a family permit to join her EU national or his EU national in the UK. However, if they have their marriage certificate dated 1st of January 2021, however, then unfortunately they would be ineligible. You're not eligible to apply to regularize their stay or to join the EU national in the UK.
Okay, I'm see I can't brofo. Anyway, the ever can poto kasem. Me bisa ye nua ba ne say 2020 December no EU law na dia na betwe mu. Na ye nua ba kire ya say samre no ye the ba said after 31st no would na wasa wa ware nipa ne dada anase nipa na wo ye nkrata ama no oba na wo kofa no nua na wo kofa no na wo process dada enye after no e na wo ba be ye tie no no ma deadline say December no wa went me anya saa no na che se atwam nke se waka akire o na se say so no a atwam no so what can you do say atwam ana is there na abetimi ya wotimi nkofo obi am mabie
enye se ebia a stop say untimi mfa obia mbabium. There are certain categories of family members there ubetimi ane omaba, all right, but then no cra date, specified date for so 30th of June 2021. So there's a ticking time bomb, really. At the end of this month, we would have probably 2 months left. We would have 2 months left before the deadline gets here. So, Metimiaka said, family members now still one spouses. If you were in a relationship before the 31st of December 2020, grandparents, parents, children, stepchildren, almost in way dear. So more person more application bar more until 30th of June 2020. Pacho, sorry.
Is it 30th of June? They are
Chinachia in the time
because April is a certain be I hate a corner. Next week I need a April.
That's it. Intina Akaya Bear say I would say 2 months, roughly 2 months left for us to make the application. Inti a time in here, Anna Agnes, as well as that, no, in conform kita old relevant documentation, no, into the omukita residence card, permanent residence card, permanent right of residence, registration certificate, the old type of status that when you applied as an EU national or family member of an EU national, media mawono, almost se ukita sa cards and paper documents ni bi nkwa dia. So unyanye the EU settlement scheme unfa hum basa mrana sea by the 30th of June 2021, you could be living in the UK illegally because
because obi wo hokra na onim se e wo se obaye na wonya ote ha no aye onim se ye se aha ne de wo ba wutimi ebetena no eno ano no obu aka da wo kakra se bibi no onim se bibi ekoso ntim pase ye kwa echire kakra se obi abetena krom ha na bia the passport ni nkoto ne kita no onye hwe ya eno no sa no ede na wo se oye
so obi abetna ha na onye hwe nkwa de a na they are not in a relationship with an EU national. They are not part of the family members I mentioned can apply under the EU settlement schema. Not then they will fall under a completely different category. And no, I say sure more circumstances no. Na yeah to me I advise you more accordingly. However, no, the more deadline pan your EU nationals and their family members, and not only their family members, people who have retained right of residence. Ebia omo worry, but say no omaji retained right of residence, omo permanent residence, and as a residence card based on retained rights. And none say because say what jai EU national no more divorce kama. And I said, Nipa Krona or EU national were agile. And I said there was domestic violence into Ujewu retained right. And none say because of that reason, no, you don't have to fall under the EU settlement scheme. Still, apply it to Sanipano. And they say, yeah, careful. Ebin so a omama permanent residence card uba krom ha ube wari EU ni mu unine tinaya 5 years ana ukoje wo permanent residence card wa dream u dream say we dey say manya afebo no nti me dey bibia nkame omo say ese wo de wo hu ba EU settlement emrana say although say omama a relevant documentation in the past it say you have a permanent right to reside no omo pese udi wo hu ba EU settlement na say na utiminya settled status indefinite leave to remain so wo show card say omo indefinite leave to remain and I say only any email decision I can say when you're indefinite leave to remain. And I say we will be a uj 5 years who worry EU national who worry no nyamia dom omoma 5 years residence card. Sesa 5 years residence card no yen Troy was so limited leave to remain. And I say unya document by email. Yeah, I can say when you're 5 years limited leave to remain. And naturally say unya EU settlement scheme no. Into if you are in that position now, metofo say for phone fraying, you bet me a bow kwan paso. Now we bet me a EU settlement scheme.
Obas watch a video no. We and we hear papa Timisrow. O basu na wutie bia fra when you have been on so frobi. Now there we are ye cano 30th June 2021 year na a tram. Because obi hu be chere no two pass one no share video no na ye nua ba e chere ye kwa ye be fa so obi wo ha onye hwe kra wo ne paper no ho ndi o ti say ye say you ba no wa ba eno anu no so what aka in less than 2 months say be wie betimi aye te na wo chere ye ase so sister wo chere kwan a ye betimi afa so ye betimi aye saade na no oya ubaka na de obi wo ho ba yo no de wonye enwo hwe na ya de bia wotue sika kese ada ti so ba na person bia e bibia sika kese wo mu ada.
Well, so we EU settlement scheme is free of charge. But ebia na omo pese, for example, ebia you are switching why EU settlement scheme, but ukita old card nibi, u pese onye new card nibi no. Ebia na eho omafro said by biometrics, there's a fee. There's a fee that you pay for the biometric itself. Or anytime for biometrics dear, and no they say fee. But the application itself, not to the Home Office, no, is free of charge. Inti boka bebre. You know, inti there's no reason why say unye. Anna dear also Auntie Agnes, bibia e koso very, very I would say for me, you know, as a legal practitioner, a little bit frightening and worrying for many people who are in this position. Ebimo say omu ye EU ni omu kita Italian book inti omu die ehunhia say omu be EU settlement scheme no. Auntie Agnes, that is not true. And yampa we EU national wa betina ha 10 years poor still say we EU settlement scheme. Emra count inti we say na yet to say before ye need free movement biom. You know, EU, the European Union, you know, free movement. Biomsa to say their first no. Yes, I will bet me a bit na here bibia. Say na the omu pese EU settlement scheme no. Omu pese wo de wo but sa scheme na say now mo who say it's either say you have indefinite or you have 5 years limited leave to remain. You see.
Okay, before I be call no, maybe say, please can I get your number? And right. Yes, Rasa, the number no ebe tuja. Where the ukwa wa ukro mukasa wonti we anya de bia kwa ya na untimi nkyerɛkyerɛ atoro bia ya na wo se ye open. Kasa na nya ye kasa nti untimi nka enye by force e ma bi hu kyere wom. Enti wo bomodin ukwa we de wa wunua kasa no wote no waka no bɔkɔ no wa kyerɛkyerɛ wo situation na se no watimi nso akyerɛ wase. Enti we bisa number no
right. Intimate me contact number. So hear me over the weekend after working hours. No, it's 07824
07824
705
705
353.
353. The number not to home. And here did you come on breasts are your friend say yeah you can for a free moon now be a free Italy free Norway free Finland maybe a free biara can say no more free moon and your free movements be now you about all checks say you choir your befaso because deadline no 30th June now is a brochure so they can't deadline you mean deadline
Yes.
Uchemu
Yes.
It's your church that you see it in a bejana men what church that you choir young faso omwa ba maybe ni or you passport but Chrome has to say United Kingdom no and ya automatic biem obi wo ho wa betina say card aye ken kura they say you free you onim kura say card bi wo ho so oje no hu ya de say yes wo ba UK utimi betina say no enu ano no but emre bi beba ema nipa hu akyere no enu ti na ye kyere mu ema ye hu de wo say ye wonya ye anya too late and say obi saa time e dia main ebi obi wo fie ne waye efie hu ade but onye paper na say saa deadline no efie hu ade so de koye ya na paper na ho ya a friend say traditional marriage na ye wo fie no engagement na paper na ho ti saa no obeye dan
Almost say if your relationship started before the 31st of December 2020 at 11 p.m. no, you're okay with it. That means say it be a not more relationship mo. Bibi a friend no, it could be a durable relationship. Bibi a you've been with a person for let's say for 2 years, for example. You know, you are in a genuine and subsisting relationship with the person and you can prove it. Ebia traveling to, for example, traveling to the country where the person, your spouse is, maybe for example, Ghana, Ebia or no, or Ghana, money transfer receipts, maybe travel itinerary as well, WhatsApp communication. I just say, and Papa say you've been in a relationship, say a knocking be a moye, say a ceremony be a moye, much pictures. Ebia obagan and so uneno tutra pictures and so come on. We muni nya betre say I am passive, but before the 31st of December, no, not our relationship more, of course. If not, no, ebia and so ubet me maybe on the day if you want to register your marriage, maybe you registered it before. So on that day, you bring the registration certificate for that specific day. What worry, come on, ebia moye no 10th October 2020. What providing my marriage certificate, name other supplementary evidence. I just say my worry and photographs, you know, of all the dowry and everything. What training ya come on, you know, any sort of maybe invitation or whatever it may be to prove that the marriage is indeed, you know, genuine and subsisting. You do so. There are ways and means to go about it.
Tikakra mekane say so only obi wo relationship mu a wo money transaction na eno nyina eboa o enti nto ntwene biem kire say wo send nipa no na WhatsApp no messages ni nyina no say ne ehu say wo so wo relationship mu a utimi keep ni nyina because ebe boa wan kasa nso ti yesre say bi sa de ma no so won keep ya keep na say ya December twam ebe na mini nipa no wo ho de but me nhyɛ da ni proof bebre anti ene kese say nipa no girlfriend waka
and then the day because I say will prove it to the entry clearance officer and say 31st December 2020 no not you yet was part of a relationship. So that is the only way to convince them to make sure say a bibia a genuine and subsist and you can prove it. If not, there's a problem. However, I think so. Anybody who's facing such a problem, no, I'm praying. Ebia, can be better. How? Ebia, you bet me abuan was our coin so. To your mom friend and yet too late. Your mom friend I ain't in boa.
Okay. So say I call June the bay. Into say bia obi wo Germany or Holland. So say sad day kakrea no person ba. Dia na was ye.
So who were Germany, who were Holland, who were EU passport nibino, and no a bedding. Again, they said for even EU nationals, no, except by the 31st of December 2020, now what drew 11 p.m. Now waha. Oh, and no na bema some leverage be a bema advantage. But says that time na pa home, we are now in April, end of April. Unyambaye ho. Yes, waba na wasa ako de be. Umba hakra and no de bedding. So mubeba said these type of individuals, some person moba, some another type of application. So mubeba krum ha atna ha nkwa dia. They would have to make an alternative application to come to the UK.
We keep you alive. Keep you alive.
Enti yani Abinelle Solicitors na edidi enkomo efa nansen 30 wo na WhatsApp obi dey send o na atro 31st. Eja wo ya layman ti se mi wonye solicitor na ya na ukwachiro obi ase kra beti. Na de enya enua ba o chreche ye wan yankasa ye kasa mu sane ye be ye beti ase enkanka 30th June de na se no ye very way tina ye kasa se no so obi ewo sa EU country na ti se says obamu se kuro wonti menye and am pese ye clear one answer just say in rare cases here one other different solutions of betimi di aba.
So Obama say they are unfortunately no through the EU route, ebia or another route, ebia or partner be waha. Our no kita EU passport nibi, but wanya indefinite leave to remain. Not a person but through the immigration rules appendix FM partner route. And no dear obetimi abam through that route, but I know it involves money. It involves certain requirements like the English language requirement, financial requirement. Inti sa Kwana ubetimi anya their backroom have free movement of persons. Now ube backroom easy na wabetinam saadie no omo stop it. That was on the 31st of December 2020. Yes.
To say no 3 and 4 kwa be na ye said ye na ye nya sa 2 months ya kai. So be e wo European passport a dey na say ubetimi 3 and 4 e wo ho.
So it'll be what European passport or tina krom ha. First of all, they need to check, are they under the EU settlement scheme? That's very important. It's almost check it. If they have not already done it, it's almost contact somebody who can help you on this path. Now, if you have family members, spouses that you are in a relationship with before the 31st, durable partners, or parents, grandparents, children, and even stepchildren. Omo Ghana, for example, still ubetimi akwakofa omo abakrumha. There's still a way, there's still a chance, provided you meet the relationship requirements. Say you were in a relationship before the 31st, you can still bring them over. Into say, what's our position more? Try say EU settlement scheme, no, ube regularize it, wakrumha. Anna ube try na boa family members they are in Ghana at present. Another important point and come say me stress it on kakrana say uye EU national, uye family member, unyanye EU settlement scheme no before the 31st of December, before the 30th of June 2021. The consequences of that is grave. So me can say a graver problem be wo papa. Oma can say, unless say a reasonable excuse, eba wakwan mu inti want to me apply for EU settlement scheme no, omumpene na chere say even if you have permanent residence, even if you have an Italian or German passport, even if you have 5 years residence card, and no, you will be here unlawfully resident in the UK if you don't make it on time. They say the exceptions be ombebo omoni say ebia okay because of this no ombema kwine say ombema EU settlement no. One, who a physical health condition stop it from applying for the EU settlement scheme. Two, who a mental health condition and also stop it from applying for the EU settlement scheme. Three, domestic violence at home, for example, that stopped you from applying for the EU settlement scheme. And four, uya kola, and you are a minor, your parents did not assist you, your let's say, for example, your social workers, the community at large, let's say you are with foster parents on one bow, and one to me anye, and no ombeshemu aboa was our quine so. But remember, sir, all these 4 exceptions, no, they will require evidence, documentary evidence to back it up. So then the question is, as someone say, Ebisa Yehune say, Adem Pana, Yedi Yehube to situation more by the 30th of June, Yenya, and no, a very good question because Yehube, that's what I can say. Min kasa be ye, min kasa enti ye, but try say, yes, try say umfa to sa situation mu cry. Because if you had the chance, we still have 2 months. There's a lot of time, at least more than 8 weeks left. We have more than enough time to correct it if we've not already done it. So EU settlement scheme no die. So unya na e 30th of June, 1st of July. The move permanent residents, they'll act like you don't have anything at all. Meanwhile, 5-6 years ago, PR was the greatest thing for you. It was your greatest achievement. But now, no PR, no, you are here illegally.
Wow. Mommy Review, please, I have stayed for 20 years with a son and I've got no legal status. Can you advise me? By the way, I'm in UK and I would like to call you tomorrow if possible. Okay, we have put in the number down. So what question be if you wouldn't be na what's at be any more person bisa mano ni na ye bisa de chere ye ho ade and the number no e wo 078 247 05353 ufrel see weekends out of office hours kura na omo ne wo bekasa na je say watimi ebisa ebo na nya yiyu nko a wakasa kura eyete na ebisa ma obisa no sa bia different issues a my yentena ase by you de ne de o ma 30th June twemu a that is some ato. It's never too late. It's better now than later. And yes, who especially what you mu na say no you nko na say so be one indefinite then the enka one na say bia enya about you by wow indefinite status and no dia wutimi ko fa still.
Yes, indefinitely, but it has to be the type of well. If it's indefinite, then you are sorted. You wouldn't have a problem at all. But if it's permanent residence, the words no. At first, no, we used to use the words interchangeably. So me kasa interchangeably. So me kasa me wa permanent residence card. The next say me wa fibono. Me wa indefinite. But say no more kasa. Permanent residence is not indefinitely to remain. Omo pesa omo jai sa terminology ni nya. No more back to the UK immigration rules emra because omo nka ho biom. Nti omo ye scheme bia omo say please come and be part of this scheme.
When you are Trumadria could be so some say besa ko back be say permanent resident, and no doesn't mean you have indefinite stay.
No, it does not mean that.
All right.
At first, it would.
It was.
Yes, it would be the equivalent. So you are permanent residents, or you our permanent residence card, or you our permanent document certifying permanent residence. Yes, a blue will honso our indefinite leave to remain. So Sanipa 3 no jinahoa omunya omuye pe. But say no almost said the our permanent residence card, the our document certifying permanent residence no. Omu pese mudu muhu ba EU settlement in Rana say not more danisa permanent residence no into indefinite leave to remain in line with the immigration rules because we are no longer part of the EU anymore. So that is what they are trying to do. Omu try to eliminate these terms. Na omu chuaba say the UK for no omu term omu indefinite, which is indefinitely to remain. And this one settled status. There's a difference.
But in this case, so because a permanent resident now, yes, 10 years now. Send you are entitled for the British one. I have book to avoid all those words.
Well, it could be said when you try to naturalize, who tries to naturalize it without the EU settlement, the caseworker can pull you up for it. Where is your EU settlement confirmation to show, say, indefinite leave to remain, settled status? That That is why it's very important. Say, EU settlement scheme na say, ukoye naturalization na with this documents no, aka ho kama. Who say we free sa EU ade na say afa who are indefinitely to remain. The years involved in naturalizing does not change, but the status of what you have, they would still want to see. Say you've been able to regularize your stay in the UK in the correct way. Family members, EU nationals, and even old extended family members are only 5 years.
And it says it as a permanent resident winner. It's still not too late before the 30th, and you still can do that.
Oh yes, you can still do it. There's more than enough time. There's more than enough time. Yes.
Say want steps now because so what I'm more permanent resident indefinite one thing.
Yes, back a few years, let's say 3 years ago, let's say 3 years, we can't permanent residents say what all when you're indefinite. So we can't document certifying permanent residence for the EU nationals are multi-chrome handle. Usually no more blue card be be blue card no more. Now I can say document certifying permanent residence. Na nenyaje yanya indefinite. But say no almost say documents, relevant documents no. E say system na eba to the EU settlement scheme no. It is a unyan sisa wo de no mo. Unya document, I say when you're indefinite, when you're settled status or pre-settled status, these are the words, so that people will not be confused. No, so when your document you have settled status. Not just say you are okay, but so unya sa document now. Not just say there's a problem.
Question mark there.
Yes. You see, so that in terms of the EU. At this point, that is what is pressing. It's really because a lot of people say they are okay, they don't need anything. And that is not true if they don't have the right documents. So there's
a permanent resident. I don't know the difference, indefinite, yes, permanent resident. Who says 2 months more and then it's na ye na ekwana posesano me empesa ye wa hapa sito radio tem bia educate bibi ba na ya beka no bia tibi nti misra wo onua bi okita permanent resident card na obo modin no wa kire no say no aka 8 weeks card no the batch so wo kwaje card na it take how long na ba.
Okay, you see, usually it doesn't come as a card. It comes as an email confirmation. First, you get a certificate of application to acknowledge, say, the Home Office have received your application and they are working on it. That's great. Subsequently, it's either they come back to you with a decision or they come back to you requesting for more information. But the key will be the certificate of application, which shows, say, why say you are on track. And if any requests come in, you provide it later, they'll bring an email certifying your decision in a document. And like I said, you have been granted indefinitely to remain settled status in the UK. So over 5 years, I do say you have been granted limited leave to remain for 5 years, pre-settled status. There are terms to it, and you get it in an email. After you've got the document in the email form, now person will send card now then you can do a transfer. You transfer the decision that has been made to a new card. And no dear, it's not compulsory. On your paper documents, no, the Home Office will know even when you're going through immigration that you've got settled status or you've got pre-settled status. They would know. But some people like to satisfy themselves. Not much card, no so and also there's a chance. We do all of that at our offices. So call us.
Oni a wohwe na ye kai aye wani so bebre a do afra be solicitors 078-247-05353. Wohwe na ye kai aye bebre nti na solicitors no wo ho no. Who call for advice, who call for help. I told the bill application where we are na ano so wakoboka anasa wa 8 weeks no etwemu enti wo hwa na bibi chichire wo so ano abommodin a no afrɛ wom zero nam telephone number dey at 0782 4705353 no mo akɔ kakra bi a wobɛkɔ na obi oyɛ professional aboa wo abetua kakra bi ame aboa no ehia kyere sɛ wobɛkɔ na yɛ too late ti bommodin a video myself chama obi it's just 8 weeks. And money yet too late, money be me soon chiro. Kakra wants to assume no chairman or tia. No wash say permanent resident doesn't mean say your granto indefinite. Come to about what 10 years or so, but still my actual permanent, you know. You see, you're careful. If I understand it, so far as it's a permanent, it doesn't matter the years, you know. Ni and far dear name ma, until you slow and tina broach ma and you're too late. And now brochure about entitlement you have to struggle to your sawa and then you may ya battle your status to whom ye can you and metana brochure and my own chill one entitled for it and then I end up what church you send ye bay into the acquire casamuno send ye bay about but see ye and yet me at church ye at the end of ye and the Abinelle Solicitors neck I say a hano. Because 8 weeks in a bay pa. And next week also about Manchester or banning sorry I be didn't come more. I'm a young who be an onim now what take to a back sorry Manchester. You want be didn't come more and come here be a draw no. I'm a young bano beba Manchester next week Saturday Sunday you know Manchester. I war baby said you may now war back chire to a question be a uba. Or obetimi obeba apostle continuation Sunday 12 noon obeba ho obeba kingdom mandate so no obeba rulers chapel ni nyina obebo ho a odi omu be di sankita ho nyinara yes Saturday be nya ochena the following week the second and the third the first and the second obewo around na eno de enkomo de wo no problem anti number no ofre na obeti ono beka ya kasa kama so won tina brofo so na ye a no waye entina ho ema ense na se krom ha no we aye timu sa de ma sesa day in day out na ma ensesa enti se no ye hu se sa wa kire ase yo so hu se pii ni wo wade no so abede na easy mama wo ho pii no permanent no wo so a na me patcho question mark bi wo baby and try ma 8 weeks ni ntwamu o say ye for free application o sa paper no sesa pra ye ngi bibi so shana o be chiro na ne chiro so ye de a enu ti na solicitors omo wo ho kakra omo so be no omo de di no ma ye bibia fefefe e di ama tell me say dia biam dey steps and o ye no wie a in this case nipa no wo permanent no resident naturalization na wa ankoji we na ne ho betimi a kire no it's not just automatic.
Yes you know who ejuma who come with a permanent residence card. Clients are coming back to me to tell me, say, they're asking for your settled status or pre-settled status. Your indefinite leave to remain. You know, they're asking for it. So let us try, say, because even it can affect our work. A bit me affecting your work. As of the 30th of June, saying, a bit me affecting every part of our living in the UK. Our residents in the UK can be affected. A bit me affected a sit now happen because to me, if you are here illegally, you cannot rent, you cannot cannot open a bank account, you cannot use the GP, you cannot travel freely in and out of the UK. So can you imagine having permanent residence and all of a sudden being an illegal immigrant here? And providing more evidence with an excuse because you were not sick, not only mental health problem, you were not a part of any domestic violence situation, and neither are you a child or an elderly person who is frail and you can't make the application. Until then, if there's no evidence, where do you fit in? What will happen to you? Maybe I now will leave no ninya abesema. According to what the Appendix EU rules say, let us try and walk on the right path. And we'll get everything done and done right.
Okay, so in the nutshell, summarizes idea Kenya, dear not to say in movie kai bullet points am I okay anybody.
Okay, into bullet points now. Extended family members, uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters can no longer make applications to enter the UK, or in the alternative to make in-country applications to stay in the UK. So I know your castle as at the 31st of December 2020. Very importantly, for relationships concerning, let's say, spouses, almost say, or durable relationship, almost say, if you want to make an application in country, or you want to make an entry clearance application to join your spouse or your partner, by the 31st of December 2020, 11 p.m., ESA would demonstrate, say, you were in a relationship before that time. That is what you have to demonstrate. And so you need to provide so many documents to prove that. If you're married, a marriage certificate dated before the 31st of December 2020. If you're in a partnership, you have to provide evidence of your communication, evidence of your relationship, such as your money transfer receipts, traveling to see your partner, and so on. You have to provide all of that and photographic evidence to show that you are in a genuine and subsisting relationship with your partner. Again, there's another deadline that we've spoken about. So that deadline may 30th of June 2020. Almost say Obia or EU national, Obia or family member of EU national for who bra EU settlement scheme. That's it. So the who ba sia either indefinite leave to remain if you've spent more than 5 years here, or if, for example, you've already been issued with a relevant document, permanent residence card, no, switch permanent residence, no, about indefinite leave to remain, amount. Apart from that, no, so what do you 5 years? What divorce EU national, no? If you say, set my divorce into my family member, and I say, Nipa Kone, Mude Mammy, Mude and Crata, no man, based on retain rights. And I said, now, domestic violence situation, man, or Mude Mao. Ube Felice, because you've separated yourself from the EU national, no, then here say obey EU settlement, there be a yampa. So beard no but I say. So if it's retained rights under EU, no, still you need to apply for settled status or pre-settled status before you be living here in the UK lawfully. So these are the main points. And the last point I'll say is, so the ones with relevant documentation, they are the ones who are most confident because Omama 5 years. So they are working on air. Omama in a permanent residence card or document certifying permanent residence into share form ho. Omo de omo asitna wa from her. But omo kasa sa old documentation, relevant documentation no omo gibium after the 30th of June 2020. Nti fa wo ho the new imrana say na beji settled status, pre-settled status, limited leave to remain for 5 years, or indefinite leave to remain. They are all terms that are used interchangeably but mean one thing. Pacho. So unya sure if you have any doubt, unya receiving that document, I can say indefinite or settled status, because indefinite and settled status is used together, or pre-settled status or limited leave to remain. It means that unya EU settlement scheme. Or who buy Rana say. So we need help at fraying let me abuamo or contact. So that these are the key areas that we have really spoken about today.
Enti da masesa mu nyinaa maba so adwumre da abe solicitors so asesa wanya na da age na woba anwumre na woba kyerɛkyerɛ yɛ nneɛma ani so nti sɛ wopɛ ɔmo na wopɛ sɛ wokɔ ɔmo hɔ a na wofra 078 247 05353 a ɔmo ne wobɛtwetwe nkɔmmɔ nti ma yɛntena ase ma 31st no ɛntwam yɛsrɛ mo a nti ma mo ma yɛ nti yɛda mo nyinaa ase sɛ anwumre mo aba na mo abɛtwetwe nkɔmmɔ nkakra wohyɛ ma obi a ebia wonnim obi nso ebia na ɔwɔ saa problem ni mu na kyerɛ sɛ watimi afiri mu nti yɛsrɛ sɛ yɛnhyɛ video yi ɛma obi a ɛnkɔ na 8 weeks pɛ na aka me de ne na ehia me aka 8 weeks pɛ nti no na kyerɛ sɛ watimi asort wo out ɛne I me yɛda wase papaapa sɛ anwumre yi busy schedule nyinaa wamia w'ani aba ama yɛtumi atwitwe saa nkɔmmɔ yi a ɛbɛboa bi a ɛmma ne ho nkyere no nti yɛde wase mobɛsan ho ne biem ama wɔde nneɛma a ɛtoatoa so no ɛbɛba na yɛdidi ntidi kɔ ɛnyɛ one day yɛbɛtwitwe nkɔmmɔ ɛwɔ different immigration issues ɛho nso nti nyame boa ɛda mo nyinaa ase da mo nyinaa ase sɛ mo aba na yɛaba abɛhyia Fatima Akuaboaten ɔsɔfo Bankusi papikolo mo nyinaa nwumire mo aba so yɛda mo nyinaa ase sɛ saa dwumadie mo aka yɛ ho ama yɛtumi adi nti yɛda yɛn nua no ase nti sɛ no yɛde si ha kakra yɛaka no menim sɛ akɔ obiara aso